So as we wait for folks to get into the meeting, just as our custom, would you please take some time to write in the chat where you're joining us from? So I'm joining you all from Dartmouth, Massachusetts. Welcome again to this Career Steps webinar series. So in the chat, take a minute to tell us where you're joining us from so that we will just get to know where everyone is located. I know folks are still streaming in one by one. And we're very happy to have you all here. Welcome to this third Career Steps webinar series. And yeah, I see Sarah is in Boston College. So we're glad to have you here. I am in Dartmouth, Massachusetts. So I usually ask folks to just write where they're calling us from. Yep, because usually we have NARST is a global organization. So we have folks always joining us from the East Coast, the West Coast, some folks from Turkey and Europe, Taiwan, and yeah, some people join us from Africa. It's always wonderful to have people joining us from all the different places. So if you're joining us now, please just type in the chat where you're joining us from so that we can know where you're at. All right, I'll just start with an introduction about our webinar series. Again, the Graduate Student Committee at NARST is happy to introduce this Career Steps webinar series. This is our third webinar in this series. We're glad that you're all joining us today for this Career Steps webinar series. I am the chair of the Graduate Student Committee. Just my role is to support graduate students in NARST. And yeah, welcome. My name is Collins Morgan. So you're welcome to this Career Steps webinar series today. Yeah, this quote is attributed to Isaac Newton. He said that if I have seen further, it's by standing on the shoulders of giants. You know, there's a lot to be learned from people who've gone ahead of us, who've seen farther than we can see at the moment. And so just to borrow that quote from Newton, when we stand on the shoulders of folks who've gone ahead of us, we're able to see beyond where we're at. So today we are honored to have a guest speaker, Dr. Gaspard Bayer. He will introduce himself fully in a couple of minutes and just share his experience, advice, and help us just know how we can navigate this graduate journey as graduate students. So we're honored to have Dr. Bayer sharing with us today. So I'm going to share a little bit about this Career Steps webinar series and then share the structure of our webinar series. So we understand that navigating the transition from graduate studies to a fulfilling career can at times be overwhelming because there are countless possibilities. You know, you may be thinking about academia, joining industry, government, getting into nonprofits, and you know, and beyond. So graduate students often find themselves uncertain about which path to pursue and even how to begin. And here at NAS, the Graduate Student Committee recognizes this challenge, and we are proud to introduce this Career Steps webinar series. This is an engaging monthly series. So every month, last Friday of the month, we have our webinar. And this series is designed to illuminate the multiple career trajectories. And we want to offer practical guidance and foster meaningful connection within our NARST community and beyond. And so the webinar series features accomplished PhDs, people who've gone beyond us. Some folks are beginning their graduate studies, but we have people like Dr. Bayo who've gone beyond, they've navigated the challenges. And we also have seasoned NAST members who sometimes come in, and because they've traversed through this journey that you're beginning, so by sharing their personal stories, complete with the challenges that they faced, pivotal moments in their lives, and unexpected opportunities that arose. So our speakers bring to life the myriad routes that lead to career success. More than just providing inspiration, these sessions provide concrete strategies and offer resources and also networks that you can leverage as you craft your own path. We know that after all, one meaningful connection can be that spark that redefines your career. One idea, one encouragement can be that spark that just ignites your passion to pursue a certain career trajectory. So the structure of this session is, as you can see on the screen. So we'll begin by a 20 minutes chat from our guest. And then after that, and then during that time, they'll be offering us insights and just talking about the key decisions and turning points that they had to make. And also they'll take time to provide practical advice for graduate students who are beginning this journey. And then after that, after the 30 minutes, we'll have time for question and answer. And then you can always write your questions in the chat and I'll read them for you. Or you can as well just unmute yourself and then ask our guest, and he will respond to any questions that you have about graduate studies or navigating this process. Those who are joining us now, please take a moment to write in the chat where you're joining us from. Yeah, so that we can know where everyone is located. So without any further ado, I will open the floor and give it to Dr. Gaspar Baye. So yeah, Dr. Baye, we're honored to have you. So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Collins, for creating such an amazing space. I know many people who have been benefiting from what you and your team have been doing, and I think it is a really needed opportunity for especially graduate students who face the uncertainty in navigating and entering into a new career. So I'll start by briefly introducing myself. Since this is a chat-ish style, we won't have PowerPoints, but I would like to make it, like a chat, a fireside chat or a webinar, but remotely. So a little bit about myself. I just graduated from UMass Dartmouth here in Massachusetts. I'm currently in New Bedford, Massachusetts right now. And I got my PhDs in engineering and applied sciences. My specialty was AI and cybersecurity. My research project that I was working on was funded by the US Military Academy, and I got lucky to publish papers which got cited 100 plus times. So, so that's a little bit about me. When I was a graduate student, I understood that, after my studies, I will either face, I will have to get a job, or I will also need to maybe work as a professor or maybe work in the government, but I can't work in government because I'm an international student. So if there are international students here, they probably face the same issues that we all go through, where you need to have clearance to work in specific branches of government. You need OPT. You have limitations, so you have to make your choices very carefully when you are studying. So my strategy is that when I was still in university, I first of all started with identifying the space that I wanted to be very good at. Why that? Because I know that eventually I will need an internship, and then at some point I will also need a job and stuff like that. So the research that I've been selecting or that I've been, gearing towards during my graduate program was always geared towards what I wanted to do. So I wanted to do cybersecurity and AI. So anything I was working on, I was trying to create project, GitHub code, and everything in that direction, in line with the problem that I wanted to solve, which is cybersecurity and AI. So by doing that, I was building kind of a resume for myself. And when you graduate, you will be looking for job. And how do you apply for jobs? Using a resume. And you are not working while in school, but you can do projects while in school. As for international students, one of the limitations is you can't work while you're on campus. You can only work uh, jobs on campus, which is 20 hours maximum. And you can also do projects like research assistantship, TA-ship, and stuff like that on campus. So given this limitation, you turn it into opportunities, meaning that any project, any group, any assignment, or any hands-on thing you can do, convert it into something tangible that can go into your resume. And that's how I've been doing. And this helped get me an internship eventually at a very good company. So the strategies I've been adopting is, anytime there is a group project or there is anything I need to work on, a paper I need to write, I need to make sure there is a code that I put on GitHub, there is a good documentation that I provide out there. Recruiters are watching. Okay. Another thing, extracurricular activities that I was very excited to be part of was NESB. So I understood that preparing for a career, so the good, I will take a step back. The good thing that I understood early enough was that for you to have to get an internship, to land a job, you need to have some extracurricular experience, meaning that you don't just need to be a student that is just taking classes and then doing assignment. Sometimes you need to develop some interpersonal relationship with people, because in job market you have to collaborate with your colleagues. So there should be some sort of skills to handle that aspect. So doing a little bit of extracurricular activities will help you develop such skills and sell yourself in the job market. So knowing that, I had to do some extracurricular activities. And one of them was heading the NESB chapter here at UMassD. I mean, I'm not currently at UMassD, but when I was in the university, I was the president of NESB at UMassD. And during my time, I had to navigate, we needed to raise money, we needed to organize students, we needed to train many students, 31 students, prepare them with their resumes, elevator speech, and then, prepare them for the NESB convention, which is the biggest yearly convention where students go meet recruiters, companies who are hiring on the spot. And we wanted to make sure that they are ready when we go there. So we prepared for a whole year to prepare everybody towards that event. If you are not in NESB, you're missing out as graduate students. Make sure you join NESB, because this is how I got my internship, because I went to NESB and met recruiters who they do screening on the spot, and then they do interview, and at the same time they give you an internship or a job offer if you've graduated. So if you're not in NESB, make sure you join NESB. So this is another side advice. So after getting 31 students ready for the for NSB convention, we have to raise funds because we needed to, pay their hotel, their flight, their fee, their food during the convention is like a week or so event. So we successfully raised at least 61,000 plus USD, and that could help us take 31 students to go to the NSB convention. At the end of the day, almost all of them got a job, an internship at really big companies, Boeing, Microsoft, and so on and so forth. So this was a success for me because I was really happy to see that people of color, minorities can also kind of have the resources and opportunities that will make them contribute to the society and to the economy. Okay, so that was my extracurricular activity experience. That also was part of the key skills that helped me to get in an internship during my graduate program. Because as an international student, we are not able to work while studying as like part-time work and studying. So we can do internship and co-op sometimes. So that was how I got an internship, and then I got a job, a return offer after the internship. So if you get an internship as a graduate student, uh, how do you make sure that you get a return offer? The technique and strategies that I used was that while during my internship program, I make sure I collaborated with everybody, meaning that if there is, because when you're doing an internship, there are some tasks, some programs that you need to achieve, some milestones that you need to achieve, and you don't want to just stay in the silo. You want to make sure you collaborate. You ask constructive questions to your manager. You kind of, if you're stuck, you kind of try to find out. You go around, you ask questions, you read, you come again, and so on and so forth. You don't also want to, bug them too much because, they're also busy. So you want to make sure that you come with something really good, and you seek for their advice and for their guidance. That will give them the signal that you're really putting in the effort, you're working towards achieving the goals and the milestone that they set for you, and you're really a good employee, for example. So in this case, I I made sure that I was also in good terms. I was respectful, coming to work on time, and make sure that you respect everybody, you respect everyone's time. So these small things, maybe people will think that these are nothing, but these are very useful, especially if you want to show the good impression, I mean the genuine good impression. And at the same time, they also have organizational events. You want to sometimes volunteer to go offer your time to help, maybe with some internal events, and things like that show that you are very proactive, and you can be a good team player. And having all of this within an organization give a positive mark. It leaves a positive sign, and your manager can definitely recommend you for a return offer, because that's the main goal. If you do your internship at an organization, you want to make sure that when you graduate, they hire you as full-time employee. So leaving a good impression is the best thing that can happen, that you can do in order to effect that. So once you do that, for sure, the rest will happen. That's what happened to me. Okay, so now after my program, my PhD program, when I graduated, um, I was lucky to have multiple options, because I was preparing myself to have options at the end of my program. And again, another thing is you have to be intentional on what you want and how you prepare yourself towards, once you graduate. Okay. If you're intentional about it, you can prepare. You have to like think ahead, 2, 3, 4 years ahead of time, even 1 year ahead, to kind of plan yourself. How do I see myself in 1 year? Do I want this? Do I want that? If you know exactly what you want in 1 or 2 years, you can now start preparing yourself towards that goal. You have to set a specific goal that you want to, create small missions or small steps that will help you achieve that goal. And once you know that, it's easy. It becomes easier for you to, reach that goal, and you will not be you will not be disappointed by whatever you see, because whatever happened, you will be better as someone who did not plan at all. Okay, so once you successfully defend your master's thesis or your PhD, and you graduated, you are now a graduate, an ex-student kind of. Um, if you plan, you will have options, hopefully. If you do not plan, it's okay. Don't panic. There are many other ways to solve this problem. So if you did not plan, it's fine. It's time to plan. It's time to organize yourself. It's time to kind of create an atmosphere that will favor you. Go on LinkedIn. Make sure you fix your LinkedIn very well. The LinkedIn should not just be after your graduation, by the way, it should be before your graduation. LinkedIn is a platform that you can sell yourself, not to brag, but you can kind of show to the world what you're capable of, but in a humble way. Meaning that if you've done a project on machine learning for breast cancer detection, or for identifying cyber attacks, or for some project XYZ, write a 1 line or 2 line statements about it, showing what you used to do, what was the challenges, how you solve it, and maybe a few sentences about the outcome, the result, and maybe a screenshot of maybe some good stuff, and a link to your project on GitHub. You are actually selling yourself. Recruiters are watching. They're going through all these platforms looking for potential candidates that they can hire. And that you by you posting all of those achievements and all of those projects, you're selling yourself. They will definitely reach out to you. I've had many recruiters reaching out to me via LinkedIn. So this is a passive way of kind of looking for job while you're still studying. You can, if they reach out to you and you're not able to, tell them that you're graduating in this year, but you would love to take interviews and prepare towards that route. Or if they are looking for full-time and you are not ready for full-time, request if they have, like, seek for talk to them and ask if they have internship opportunities. Things like that will help you prepare towards achieving those goals. Another thing to do is, now that, let's say, you've prepared your LinkedIn, you've prepared your resume and everything, you're now ready to start applying for job. LinkedIn, again, is another great platform. If you see, let's say on the LinkedIn, there is a job search bar. You can leverage those powerful search engine that, it can kind of, it can link you to multiple job listings that exist in that field that you are looking for. Maybe you're a machine learning engineer, you are a software engineer, you are a healthcare person, you are a cybersecurity engineer, whatever field you are looking for, or even assistant professor. If you want to go towards academia, whatever you're looking for, if you use that LinkedIn search bar, you will be, you will have what you want. And then from there, you are able to see all the job listing. You can even activate the alert option on LinkedIn that will give you anytime there is a job listing that you're looking for that matches whatever you're looking for, it will alert you directly into your inbox, and you will now be among the first to apply to that job. So these are techniques and strategies you can use. You use technology, you're using social media to your own advantage to get what you want. And if you now identify a specific job that you are looking for, then you can go on that LinkedIn page again. Under employees, you will definitely see the people working under that company. If you see maybe people who may be able to help you, you can now say, reach out with a very respectful, not long AI generated messages, but very short, simple, and nice message which you can reach out to these people to say you would love to, you really like to connect with them, but you need to know if they can advise you on how to get this job XYZ within their company, or if they're open to referring you and things like that. These are ways you can maximize your chances of getting a job within an organization. So whether you select academia, industry, working with the government, these are usually similar techniques you can do to get the position you are looking for. Another one aspect, which, and then I will conclude, is that I hope I'm still on time. Okay. Another one thing that I will say is you can also, as an international student or a citizen, you can also venture into entrepreneurship. Sometimes you may build a program or a software during your PhD or during your master's, and you think that this program is revolutionary and the world need it. You can package it into a product. You can create an MVP and pitch to investors. There is Y Combinator. There are many entrepreneurship VC or accelerator programs that can welcome you. They can fund you, and then you will build a product, and then you will maybe become the next Bill Gates or the next Mark Zuckerberg. Who knows? Yeah. So be bold, have the courage to dare, and take calculated risk, and you will definitely reach your goal, and you will succeed. Thank you.
Other practical steps that you've shared. Yeah, I'm not sure whether Patrick, I see Patrick still on the line, has any questions. And then no, the meeting is being recorded so that graduate students who've not been able to tune in at this time will be able to access the meeting later and hear what you've shared. But thank you very much for sharing. So I'm just going to give time if Patrick has any question to direct to our guest.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Patrick. I'm a graduate student in Washington State. I'm taking a PhD in science education. And my question is that there are certain fields like that, however much you strategize and position yourself, they are limited, like in the arts, or particularly I am in teacher preparation. So there is in the field, there are conflicting ideas about the use of AI, especially in teacher preparation, and how you need to prepare teachers to interact with students naturally. So while AI can be optimized in teacher preparation, it could assist, but then it's still, there are competing ideas about it. So my question is that in the fields where that are arts oriented, for instance, how best are you able to position yourself while at the same time honoring the line that you need to take? For instance, a significant number of practitioners in the colleges of education are not AI conversant as such. It is just coming up, and the current the current field requires a lot of that. So it's like the way your profession positions you versus the way the environment requires you is like conflicted. You understand? So how best can you merge those two? Like there is the outside world embracing AI, and then one in the field that you are is like, well, we need to like learn to interact with the students without interfacing our interaction with the AI, and we need, like that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, let me rephrase, and you tell me if it is what you're asking. You're trying to understand how to kind of navigate this space where there are two people One group is saying, hey, let's work with AI and, achieve our goals. And another group saying, hey, AI may, conflict with what we are doing. Let's be cautious about AI. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, and then how do you position yourself professionally to be acceptable in that field?
Yeah, so that's a very excellent question. So to give you to give you a perspective, it is not only in your field, it's almost in every field. That's how they feel. Everybody, even in software engineering, even in cybersecurity, even anywhere, people are like, should we use AI or should we be like, no, let's wait, AI, we are not sure. So the short answer is AI is here to stay. So AI, the revolution that you see right now, is like the dot-com revolution in those times of the internet era, where in the past, when there was no computers, there was no internet, people were doing things manually. But when the dot-com era, where computers and internets were introduced, people started becoming, some people were panicking, some people were adopting it, and so on and so forth. So there was this conflict between, should we adopt this new thing or no, we don't sure, we are not sure. But right now you see computers are ubiquitous. We have everywhere, everybody using internet. We are currently connecting and talking through the internet without being physically at the same location. So it's the same too for calculators. When calculators were introduced, a group of teachers actually wrote an essay or some sort of thing saying, no, we don't want calculators. We condemn it. We don't want it in school. We don't want it. Students should do things manually. But now nobody is saying, in fact, some exams, they say calculators are allowed even in exams. So these are just few examples to show that we are just doing similar things, like the calculator era, the computer era, now the AI era. But the AI era in this case is even bigger than the dot-com era because it is impacting every field. It's impacting education, it's impacting science, it's impacting engineering, it's impacting everything you think of can be using AI to kind of 10x its productivity. So you now, as someone who want to think in the next 5 years, 10 years, how should I position myself to be competitive and still be professional? I would say, if you know that AI is here to stay, I would say right now, I'll give an example, for example, in the software field, because that's what I have much information about. Those who are not using AI versus those who are leveraging AI, you will see a big difference. Those who are using an AI as a co-pilot, as a partner, usually achieve their work 10 times better than those who don't. Why? Because AI work with the speed, with machine speed, meaning that if you want to write a software, you can architect it and then AI can even write for you. You have to just think about the bigger picture, the high level design, and then try to now make it work and patch the small things that are missing. And then you gain time instead of spending months to create a software, full-fledged software. You can create a day or two and you create that same software. So you see the time gain from 1 month to 1 day, it's huge. Organizations will like that because you're cutting cost. And if you are a teacher or you are training teachers, you want to make sure that you optimize, you help the teachers know how to use AI to 10x their work as well, to know how to maybe deliver the lecture in a very, friendly way that people can understand, students can understand. Maybe they can use AI to kind of digest or break down the technical things or whatever they're trying to train or teach into smaller digestible ways that you can, leverage it or devise strategies on how to easily penetrate students or how to easily make people or students get engaged and understand your lecture. So if you have used ChatGPT before, sometimes there are some concepts that you may be seeing very complicated. You ask ChatGPT that, explain this to me as if I was 5 years old. ChatGPT will break it down for you in a very simple and understandable way. And that makes it easy. The barrier to learning because of the technical aspect is broken. And you can leverage that powerful tool to break all this barrier and make sure that maybe your content, a professor's or a teacher's content should be, easily digestible using that type of approach. And these are like, you can use it as a companion, as a co-pilot, which, you don't have to completely replace a professor or a teacher with AI. No, but you can use AI as a partner who help you, you know, create content that are digestible, contents that are, easy to understand and easy to reproduce for your students, for your colleagues and things like that. So I will advise, again, not to fight and say, no, I'm old school, I don't want to use AI anymore. But you can use it to your advantage. Instead, you leverage it to optimize your workflow, to make things easier for you so that you can gain more time to focus on more important things, and to help the students learn better, and also help the teachers deliver their lectures better. So these are how people have been using AI in different fields. I think even in education, it can also be leveraged in that aspect, to my opinion.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I like the insights that you bring. Yeah, that I think we've had certain components of research along AI use, like teacher beliefs on AI and how it's applied in the classroom, and how like the prevalence of AI use in the actual classroom. So that's an emerging area of study or research that
Right.
I think I've seen one faculty that is pretty much interested in that line of research. Maybe I should find a time and join his lab and see what's up. Thank you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
one other thing too is that I would say while using AI, one should also be cautious, because so from the technical point of view, because I develop AI algorithms, I write classifiers, so I know what's happening, especially in the AI world. AI is also not always correct or accurate. So one should not also trust AI 100%. It's better to trust but verify, meaning that because AI hallucinate, the content sometimes AI brings out is not 100% correct, and sometimes it make things out. So as a teacher, while using AI to maybe streamline your notes and stuff like that, you have to also be cautious, verify, check resource, check references, and so on and so forth. Try to check and make sure it is correct, so that you don't go and deliver things that are hallucinated, and many other things. So AI, though it has its positive side, some of its negative side is that it hallucinate and make up things that are grammatically correct, but they are not, they are wrong, they are not true. So having said that, it's good to use AI with some caution as well. It's good, it will help, but we have to also be cautious about how we adopt it, and we always have to verify its accuracy. These days it's getting better, but we still want to make sure things are very correct before we deliver it to students. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick, for asking that question. I know, like, most of the time people ask questions here, they're not just asking for themselves, but also for other graduate students who are still grappling
Yeah.
with similar issues at this point in time. Dr. Baye, I'm wondering, what are some of the challenges and pivotal moments or opportunities that you've encountered, like in your study journey, in your graduate journey? I'm sure some students would want to learn. And how did you overcome them? Because you bring a unique perspective, again, as an international student, and even broadly as a graduate student. So if you can remember any challenges you feel and how you were able to navigate through that, or any opportunities that you that came your way, or moments that you'd like just to share, so that someone who will be listening or watching can
Right. So that's a good question. Thank you for asking. One unique moment, I would say, that was a little bit, it was not the best, but it was a pivotal moment for me, was when I got my internship, actually. So when I went to NSB, I met with this company. They liked my resume. They decided to offer me an internship opportunity with them, uh, meaning during the NSB session itself. 2 weeks later, when we came back to the university, they called, an HR from the company called, and they said, hey, listen, uh, the internship that you got, it may not work because, some these reasons. So I was like, wow, I was so happy I got an internship, and now I'm not more having access to that internship. Luckily, I kind of created some sort of personal connection with the hiring managers and the recruiters, and I also connected with them on LinkedIn. So make sure when you are talking to hiring managers, recruiters, and the rest, professionally connect with them, create a personal connection with them, be respectful, be cool, be nice to everybody, because you don't know who is in the room and you don't know how they can help you. So I reached out to them. I said, hey, I was so excited and very happy to come join you guys next summer for the internship, but unfortunately someone called me and they said I won't be going to that internship anymore. So they said, oh, they were not aware. So they had to now internally go check and try to see. There was like probably some sort of misunderstandings, and they helped me fix that issue, and I was able to get my internship. Imagine if I just got the internship and then I just left. I did not create a personal connection with them. I did not, I was not nice to them. I did not connect with them on LinkedIn, because that's how I reached out to them, was on LinkedIn. I could have missed that valuable opportunity, because getting an internship while still in school as a graduate student, it's a turning point, because that adds a lot of value to your resume, and it makes you very competitive vis-a-vis of other students who are applying without internship experience. And that gave me that boost that I needed. After that, when I was applying to companies, many companies were actually reaching back for interviews and things like that, because when they see you have a practical industry experience from a real company, it gives you that weight, it gives you that advantage, that competitive advantage vis-a-vis of other students who did not have internship, for example. If you did not have internship, at least you need to have projects and research and stuff that you have to put on your resume. But that's the same for every other students too. They're doing the projects, they're also putting it on their resume, but you need to have a differentiator, something that will actually change the narrative when it comes to recruiters looking at your resume. So that was one specific moment which I understood that personal connection is more important when you are looking for job than even just LinkedIn connect, or just being robotic and not creating a personal connection, and also being respectful. So the personal connection will take you far, because these people will advocate for you. They will say, hey, they will vouch for you internally in places that you are not even there. They will say, oh, I know this dude, he's cool, he's nice, he's respectful, and things like that. So make sure you are respectful, make sure you are cool to everybody, make sure you are nice to people, because you don't know who will help you tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sure lots of graduate students will benefit from that. I do not have any other question. So unless Patrick has a question, I don't see any questions that were posted here by people who were in the meeting previously. And yeah, because unless you have any other important say advice that you want to offer to graduate students, what you think that is like the number one thing that as a graduate student preparing to get into the world needs to focus on. I don't know if you have something
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I have one last piece of advice. So the one thing that you will use to get, for example, a job or apply for a job is your resume. Your resume, if because the thing is, majority of the time you'll be applying on a platform which a company will post a job, and then you have to apply on their portal, job offer or whatever. Uh, you have to have a very good resume, and for you to have a good resume, because nowadays we have ATS, like software programs that are scanning resumes and ranking them. We also have AI-based scanners, which actually scan AI resumes, because there are thousands and thousands of resumes submitted to companies, and they just have maybe 2 or 3, 4, 5 recruiters. These recruiters cannot manually be searching all these 10,000 resumes. They will spend maybe 5 years. By the time they're finished with screening it, the job is even non-existent. So they need to find ways, efficient ways to scan and filter and rank resumes. So many people make the mistake of, like, when they're applying, they are kind of spamming the internet with the same resume, sending the same resume everywhere, and trying to cross fingers and hoping that someone will reach out. So these type of things, the AI systems or the ATS have keywords. They have key, skills they are looking for, and all these keywords, key skills, and the rest are found on the job description itself. Meaning that under the responsibility, you will see a lot of, like, the keywords that they are looking for. They're looking for maybe 2 years of teaching experience, or interpersonal relationship with students. If you're looking for academia, if you're in industry, maybe they're looking for Java developer who with having experience in programming and things like that. So those keywords are very important. Now, there is AI that is present. So they are using AI on the other side to screen, and you, as a graduate student, you want to also leverage AI to your advantage. How will you do that? So, because the thing is, you have to optimize your resume to be ATS friendly or to be AI friendly, so that it can rank high, and then a human recruiter can have an eye on your resume. When I was helping the NSB people during the before the convention, what I usually share with them is that there are first of all 3 things they need to consider while writing their experiences. The first thing is, if you're writing, let's say, your experience about how you worked on something, it need to answer these 3 questions. What have you done? I developed, I created, I managed, things like that. You need to own what you've done, not we. If you say we, it's like you were part of a group and we don't even know specifically what you've done. So recruiters are interested in what you as an individual have done. So you need to start with what you have created or what you've done, you managed, you created, all those strong words. Now, again, in that same line, they are expecting you to share how you did it, right? Meaning that in this case, this is like the technical jargon. If you are a programmer or you created a software, you will say, I created a software using Python programming and then multi-threading. The how is where you kind of add the domain specific knowledge, like things that are specific to your domain, using maybe Python programming or the technical things that you've done to create that software. And then the third part of the experience is you need to answer the question of, why are you doing this? The impact, which leads to reduction of 2%, which leads to a 2% increase in efficiency, or which leads to a cost, a reduction in cost and stuff like that. So using all these 3 aspects will be helpful, and you can also use AI to rephrase your experiences to your advantage, so that you can match with the responsibilities and skills the companies are looking for. Yeah, so that's what I have to say.
There's a question. There's a question about spelling. Patrick wants you to
Okay.
spell Nesbit. That like.
Oh, Nesbit. NSBE, and let me write it,
Yes.
National Society of Black Engineers, in bracket NSBE. I just send it in a group. It stands for
Yeah.
National Society of Black Engineers. Usually it is having chapters in many universities, and the convention is around March from time. I don't know if it is always around March, but it's usually around March. If you go to nsbe.org, you will definitely have all the information about the conference, and you can, let me see if I can pull out the nsbe.org. I think yeah. So
Oh, I've seen it. So
yeah.
you said something about like the keywords.
Yes.
So is this so when do you get to like maybe optimize the 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 resume or the application? Like which one do you target with the keywords and
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. So the technique that we use is that, for example, we have the job description. Like, you have to optimize your resume per job description, meaning that you have multiple copies of the resume that aligns with that job description. So if you have, let's say, job number A or job number one, which they're looking for a let's say a graduate teaching assistant or whatever, maybe they're looking for a Java developer. They will list the responsibilities that a Java developer will fulfill while he will join them in that company. So you can copy that, and then you can tell AI that, hey, based on this job description, could you share with me the skills required for this job description? And now, based on your work experience, you can now kind of rephrase your experience. That, of course, you have to have some experience developing software. If you're a Java developer, you probably have developed some softwares, and some of the skills will align. But some people will not be good at wording it in a way that it is good enough. They're making they're underselling themselves. So AI will help them to put out those skills in a very nice way that can be seen by another ATS or even by a recruiter. So you can say, given this experience, uh, please provide the skills that are required for this experience. Or you can also say, given this experience, rephrase my experience, which is the one on your resume, to kind of match similar experience, but with in a recruiter friendly way. And then you can also add, you can say, for each experience, you want it to have like the what you've done, how you've done it, and what's the impact. And now you make sure you check it and make sure it matches with your experience. I mean, the experience that you've actually done. And then that's how you actually create a resume that matches the responsibilities of a specific job. And that, in the past, we have to manually do it because there was no AI. You have to manually do it. But now with AI, for every job, you can actually do it very fast, as maybe 30 minutes max, or maybe 1 hour, because you already have a resume. You just need to rephrase it and organize it in a way that it matches the responsibilities, the roles and responsibility of a company. And that's how you want to make sure you maximize your chances of getting a call from that company, because many other people are also trying to apply to that company.
Yeah, I
Thank
hope Patrick, you've been answered. Or
thank you.
No problem. You just need to you just need to write that prompt in a nice way so that AI can help you in that aspect.
all right, we're 4 minutes to the next hour, and I think we've answered the questions that were raised in the group. I just want to take this time to thank you for your time, Dr. Baye, and for the advice that you provided and how graduate students can position themselves even while still pursuing their graduate course. Thank you very much for giving us time for the advice and for the practical steps that we can prepare before graduation. I know many other students are going to watch this later because of their probably schedules. They weren't able to
Right.
join us now, but they're going to be able to see this later. So I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us today. Yeah.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
the rest of your day.
Thank you for making this happen, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for inviting me as well.
We're grateful. We're grateful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patrick, for the
Thanks.
great questions.
Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay, have a
Enjoy
good.
the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.